First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Mr. Rahmat bin Abdul Wahid. I am one of the first batch that taught physics for computing, PHYF 154, for the student in the Xi'an International University. So with us today, we have other first batch lecturer as well. Okay, firstly, I would like to introduce Mr. Adrian Loy Feng, all right, as one of the panel for today that taught computing subject. Okay, and then we have Mr. Nul Hilmi bin Muhammad Hanif here, teaching English. And then we have Afzal Aizat, okay, bin Ramli. He is also the coordinator for the Foundation in Business Admin program. Okay, I forgot to mention as well, Mr. Adrian is the coordinator for the program of Foundation in Computer Science. Okay, and then we have other lecturer as well that will be joining. We have Muhammad Safwan bin Ishaq teaching mathematics, and then we have Muhammad Nashraf bin Muhammad Nasruddin. Okay, so it is important to understand the reason why we have this session is actually to give um, as much as information, okay, and then to help prepare the second batch lecturer. Okay, namely we have here Madam Roslina binti Abdul Ghaffar. Okay, welcome to the session, as well as Madam Nur Zakiyah binti Gorman. We also have Mr. Lia Hock Sang here. Okay, so feel free to ask any question along the presentation. We have several presentation. Okay, and then obviously the spirit here is actually to share as much as possible in terms of I would say teaching a very different kind of student, okay, and then how to, actually experience, okay, fully what it's like being a lecturer in this kind of overseas program. Okay, so that is, I would say, our first introduction. And can we start the first presentation with Mr. Adrian?
Yeah, of course.
All right, okay.
Okay. Thank you, Ramat. So, first of all, we'd like to thanks Kafel, okay, for preparing this platform for us to share a little bit of experience that we during our past, during my past 2 months in China. So generally, if you ask, right, is it difficult or not? I could say that my personal opinion is difficult, but this is not terrible. Yeah. Why say that so? Let's we watch our presentation. Let me share the slide.
It's quite difficult.
Okay. You see the share screen?
Yes, we can see the
Okay.
screen.
Yeah. So this slide, right, we just prepare in just a very fundamental, okay, and it will wrap up what we have done so far in China. Okay. So an overview will come with like the people that we met, okay, the airline and the transit that we have experienced before, and the teacher and learning tips, what do and what is don't, okay, and some activity that we created, meet and greet, and our living environment in China, and the daily food, okay, especially for the Muslim, and then the payment method, what application or what method that we do for the payments, and also the transportation to some certain places. So you can see this. This is a very beautiful, how to say, place that is just right behind our accommodations. Okay, it's a hotel, but it's about like our resident hotel, like 3 star. Yeah, it's just like in Unitan we have malls, but here just like this. Okay, there's a bell tower. So this university is actually led by the President Dai, and also the entire program is actually by Professor Go. This college, the Dean of International Collaboration, something like that. Yeah. So, but these two people, right? Normally we'll see them when our bosses there. So the next is this. Yeah, this is very important. Three key.
You can see them because they have the official residence right besides our hotel, the He Yuan Hotel or the Lotus Hotel. Right beside that we have the official residency for them. So sometimes when you go back and forth from the class, you may see them as well, and definitely they'll greet you because obviously yeah.
Yes, and then these three key person, right? We have a coordinator, Asia. You can see in the red arrow. Okay, this is a lady, and then Maxine is actually our teaching assistant. Okay, is also a language teacher, lecturer in the university, and also they have a discipline lecturer, the teacher we call Madam Tan. Yeah. So Madam Tan, their job is actually to ensure the students attend the classes, and then by the time they have to be in accommodation because they have the curfew. But every day before 10 p.m. they must be in their accommodation. Yeah. So it's actually managed by Madam Tan. Okay, and okay, the airline. So probably we experience two airline. Okay, two. The first one is China Southern. Okay, the checked baggage is 23 kg, but only one pieces. Okay, and halal meal is available, but you have to pre-book. Okay, so if you're using a China Southern airline, the baggage is checked through, meaning to say that during the transit time, okay, you no need to collect your bag. Yeah, but the Shenzhen airline, we took this Shenzhen airline when the time we back from China to Malaysia. So a similar, how to say, requirement for the check baggage, but the halal meal have to pre-book, but it's just like they have a difficulty based on the application. If let's say in the Shenzhen airline, right, you have to be inform the coordinator to see whether they can help you to book or not. Because we tried by using our apps, but we can't do it. So what we can do is actually when we boarding the time, we ask the steward and the stewardess whether there's halal meal is provided or not. Yeah, but with Shenzhen Airline, there's a limitation. It's like during the transit in Shenzhen, you have to collect your bag and then we check in again. So if let's say you're having a Shenzhen airline, so make sure that time control is very important. You have to quickly go get down to the flight, and then went to the how to say counter. I mean, went to the baggage bell to collect your bag, and then recheck in again. But if you're using China Southern Airline, everything will be go through. I mean, check through. Yeah. So this airline, I think probably the university will be arranged for you all. Yes, we come for teaching and learning. What do we do and don't? Um, okay, this is actually a main part, right? Okay, for computer science, we have about 19 students. Okay, so luckily they are quite good in the sense of they didn't absent. It's just like you have to spend a lot of time to explain with a certain theory. In generally, like example, we conduct a simple chapter, okay, in Unit 10. I mean, in our campus, right, we conduct one chapter, maybe we use about 2 weeks. But in China, maybe you need to use 3 to 4 weeks because you have to keep on repeat the theory and principle. Yeah. So to speak basic English, very, very basic, like the kindergarten level, because all of them are not the English educated. They don't go through a proper, how to say, the English classes, like as what we found from the some of the students they told us. They only have like one classes of English during their high school. So therefore, how to say, they don't even can speak a proper like a basic like curly braces, column, and so on. So can you imagine that, like when I'm teaching programming, like curly braces, semicolon, this all is very important than the syntax, right? So I have to introduce this all syntax and then tell them how to pronounce and what is this syntax before we can proceed to the main content. Yeah, so that's why this will be time consuming, but we have to be very, very how to say, patient lah in terms of this. That's why I say it's difficult, but it is not worse because they're willing to learn. Yeah, that is very important. So I think one of their culture is like, when we observe, one of their culture is like they don't like I mean they don't looks like our Malaysian student, like they will be um how to say, they will be self-behave, in the sense of we have to always monitor their attendance, always like mention, okay, today who is attended, who is not attended, who is absent, and then the next day for those who are absent, right, you have to ask them during the class, so they won't repeat the same mistake. Yeah, and then like monitor their assignment as well. You have to always remind them, and you have to put it on screen before you start for the classes. Yeah, because with this method they will submit, yeah, within the extended deadline. Otherwise they will just forget about it. Yeah, so ask question during a lecture is quite good to avoid some of the sleeping baby in our classes, because some of the students, especially sit at the back, right, they love to play phone, or probably they love to just turn on their laptop and then they just focus another thing. So if you ask question, right, in some certain way, you can actually to attract their attentions. Yeah, and be probably be at the lecture hall 5 minutes ahead. Yeah, don't, in the sense of do not cancel your classes. Okay, this is something like Chinese culture. They say that uh try I mean not try, I mean do not cancel your class, do not end your class earlier, and do not promise anything to the students. Like example, if student ask for holidays or student ask for permissions to skip the class, do not promise them first. You have to communicate with the coordinator. Yeah, this is actually the don't, because in somehow they say that they love to because the students, right, in somehow you deal with the student, but in somehow if their parents know their kids didn't go to the class, and the parents can demand the school, so the school will be the headache. So that's why everything had to push back to their discipline teacher or maybe the coordinator. Yeah, Rama, you want to add on?
I think the first point, which is speak basic English, I think that is one of the most important thing, because when I started teaching them in semester one, what happened is I definitely use the online method. All right, we video conference with the student, and then I would say this is how I teach them, rather a normal pace in speaking using English language. However, when I started to enter the physical class there, meeting them face to face, okay, what happened is every one of them holds their phones, okay, or and then either put it on the table or holding it with their hands, and then having their translating app, okay, on, turn on, okay, and then every single sentence that you speak of, it will be translated in the screen of their phones, and they will be looking at their phone all the time. At first I thought they were just like playing games, they weren't paying attention, but actually they're looking at the translation on their phone. So um please bear that in mind, because definitely when we talk about English proficiency there, most of the student have difficulty in conversing in English. Okay, and then we rarely have, for example, English language interaction even in the canteen to order food. Okay, so I really appreciate any colleague that can speak Mandarin, okay, especially when ordering food, because obviously it's easy just to point at those kind of foods to order, but when it comes to the price, the amount that you have to pay, um I can only recall Ursha, which is 20. That is something that you have to bear in mind. We really need to use very basic English, and then I for once have to repeat the points over and over again, just to get them to understand the physics concept. Thankfully, for my subject, because it is physics mechanics, it is something that you can see, which is something how fast the object move, okay, how far does it travel. So it's not that difficult, but to explain a harder or bigger concept that requires, as Adrian says, a lot of time. Okay, because then again they have the translator, and then I always teach them. For example, for physics, I teach them how to draw. If you can recall, when you learn about Newton's forces, I told them about free body diagram, where you have to draw again the diagrams in a much more basic or simpler diagram, just to show the forces, how many forces acting on the object. Maybe you can understand from my explanation just now, but when it is written in the exam paper, draw free body diagram, they ask the lecturer what is the meaning of free body. They thought it's something like a human body being given freely in the exam question. So I guess bear that in mind, and then I agree as well to communicate with the coordinator in whatever plan that you intend to have with the student. Okay.
Yeah. And then one more thing is like we used to be like 5 minutes before we enter the class, and then normally we would take about 5 minutes or 10 minutes to wait our student to come in. And then if let's say our lecture is 2 hours, in the middle of 2 hours, maybe we have 10 to 15 minutes break, and then we will allow the student to leave the lecture room like 5 to 10 minutes before the official time. So this is not happen in China. Yeah. So in China, they say that you have to come early, okay, like 5 to 10 minutes, and then immediately you start your lecture, okay, and then do not release a student early. Yeah, normally we say that we release them about 10 minutes before, let them to go from one to one, but actually, right, the student is at the same class. Like after my class, let's say Rama class, right after my class, so Rama will come into my classroom instead of the student to proceed to another classroom. Yeah, so that's why they want us to be fully utilize the time that is assigned to the subjects. Yeah, and yeah, this is somehow we a bit different, but you can try to have some certain rest time. Yeah, but bear in mind, if let's say some in that campus, right? I'm lucky because our classroom is not monitored by CCTV, because all the classroom in China having a CCTV and is monitored by their superior, to avoid that the instructor sharing something that is out of topic. Yeah, so everything in the classroom are recorded and can be accessed by their superior, the deans and the head of departments. So this also like somehow to, we got one teacher that told us like they even show us this is a recorded version that she just done her class. So it's like very scary. So we just need to focus our content, not to tell any like your mother story, because I believe that some of us, right, is somehow we will share like, hey, how are you over the weekend, and we just chit chat and somehow like 10 or 15 minutes gone. But this, if let's say they're superior, they're spotted, they will actually give you a warning letter. Yeah, because when you in the classroom, you can only deliver something that is related to your teaching subjects. Yeah. So yeah, but you see, if let's say your classroom is in your library, in the library, I think CCI is very lucky with the library, because when when I go to China, my classroom are all in library. Yeah, I think library is quite on for the CCI. Okay, next, this is meet and greet. Normally, every semester, the coordinator over there, they will liaise with us to having meet and greet sessions. So this meet and greet session is one in semester for both. They combine the FCS and also FBA students. So this is a to-do list. Normally, you have to discuss with the coordinator. Like once our new batch lecturer go there, you have to discuss with them, set a date. Normally, they will set between 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. because that is the time that students are free. Okay, so for our side, right, they will expect something that come from us. So last time, thanks to Isaac and also Ramat for become our Malaysian chef, for making a Milo and also the curry. What is it? Curry fish ball. Can
Yeah, curry fishball and tom yum fishball.
curry and tom yum fish ball. So maybe this batch, right, got a lot of nice chef, right? So you can have the nasi lemak, because I think they are interested and wanted to try, right, nasi lemak. It's just like if you're able to do it, maybe they are more happy. Yeah. So they will set for the SIU side, they will set a venue and they will prepare some drinks. So you can see this picture is actually during the study session. And also thanks for Nasraf, because he connected to one of his final year student, where is from China as well. So this China student are sharing something to our students over there. Yeah. So the entire sections, I think quite okay. Santai, and then I mean the student will sing, and they will invite the lecturer to sing. So if you love to sing, then you can prepare some song. Yeah. So this is our living environment. Okay. What I can say that acceptable because it's clean and there's all basic needs. It's just like when you want to cook, you have to buy the essential. In China, it is not so difficult because they have the platform. I think everyone know well. We call Taobao. Okay, in Malaysia we call Shopee, we call Lazada. But in China, in one
But
shop,
in China they call as
Taobao.
TB Mall, right? TB
TB
Mall.
Mall. Yes,
Yeah.
Taobao Mall. TB Mall is Taobao Mall. Taobao Mall dalam tu, sorry, Taobao Mall, inside Taobao Mall, they have a lot of brands. So you can buy everything through a Taobao, and then their delivery is very fast. Maybe like about 3 to 4 days. They would. It's just when you want to collect them, you have to go out from the campus and collect them. Because that they won't send direct to the hotel. Yeah. So this one later on we will have a separate session to those who interested to know more. Yeah. So you can see basic lah. I mean they will have two single beds, and then there's a table for you to do, I mean, to do your meeting and so on. And the kitchen is basic with the fridge. Okay, and yeah, and it is very convenient because you see the walkway right over here is actually about less than 5 minutes. You are from the hotel to the places, the college, just walking distance. Yeah. So I think for the accommodation, there's so far no big issue.
Yeah, so
There.
if I may add, the picture where you see the pavement there, the road there, the one that to the right is actually the Letitia Cafe, and then afterwards, besides that, going further from Letitia Cafe, the one in the green color, that is the official residency for President Dai. Okay, and then next to it, we have the residency for the lecturer, which is the Lotus Hotel. So the view that you're seeing here, it is actually coming from the library, right? So this is from the library, which is where we have the FCL's classes, Foundation for Computer Science classes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and an FBA, all right?
Yeah.
So this is the classes, and then you just walk very, small distance, okay,
Yeah.
to get to the residency. And then in front of that, we have the stadium, okay, and then they enforce the student to have, in this case, physical education, PE, morning, afternoon, and even night. The physical education subject, it's recorded, okay. They have to put how many distance they have walked into the system, okay, and then it will be monitored by the university. Okay, so it is rather a lively area there, okay. uh and then it doesn't feel lonely lah if you walk at
Mhm.
night, okay. All
Yeah.
right, so
Yeah, someone,
over
I think
to you.
it's quite healthy because every day you will see the students are actually walking over there, some jogging, some walking. It's just around the stadium. Yeah, there's every day there's a lot of people. Yeah, you just imagine this is a campus, right? But you can imagine a campus like a city because the population is like a small town. Yeah, so every day you will see a lot of people. Yeah. But don't worry, they won't bother you because they just only mind their own business. Yeah. So this is actually another places in the campus, still in the campus. There is a mini mark and there's some shop that you can buy your daily needs. Yeah, in the campus. So and you can see this is one inside the college, and they have even a Luckin Coffee. It is some sort like a Starbucks in Malaysia, It's some sort of like a GG coffee, okay? But I'm somehow feel that it's how I feel that this Luckin coffee is the best coffee so far that is so far can I think it's better than Starbucks
Yeah,
because
I think it's better
the
than
use
Starbucks
is
in
quite nice.
China.
Yeah, so the taste, I mean, if you're a coffee lover, right? So no worry, no need to bring your own coffee unless you want to have like, let's say, Mr. Liao, you want to have the Chinese style coffee style, then you can bring lah. But if you used to be like a Starbucks, I mean the Western style bean, I think this Luckin coffee is sufficient enough, and some more, it's very cheap. I think it's about 10 yuan or 11 yuan for Americano. But if sometimes they will give a voucher, you will grab it and then you see the discount. After discount is about 7 to 8 yuan. So every day you can have your coffee on the way to go to your classroom. Yeah, and you can pre-book through the phone and then you just go there and collect it. So in China, it's very convenient. Everything is ordered by apps, mobile apps, their WeChat and their Alipay. Yeah, they have the mini program. Yeah. So for Muslim, right? So this one is very important. So you have to learn something before you go. These two words, 清真. You can see this green color. This called 清真. 清真in the sense of halal. Yeah. So whenever you want to enter any shop, right? You must see the signboard. I mean, this one. If they have 清真in the green color or in engraved or whatsoever, as long as they're 清真, means there's halal food. Then you are safe to eat. Yeah. So if the a signboard without the halal, then you better don't go in lah. But I think in Xi'an, right, it is not so difficult for you to find for halal food. Maybe the option is not a lot, but they are halal restaurant in some certain area. Yeah. But the food variety there is like very limited, only noodles or rice, and the taste is how's the taste, Rahmat?
Mostly noodles. Okay, like if you go to like 10 shops or 10 restaurant, only one is going to serve rice. Most of them is going to serve noodles. Okay.
Yeah.
So for me, that's is a struggle because I have to eat rice every day. So so thankfully we have the translator here, Mr. Adrian, asking for chow mi fan, right? So
Yeah.
asking for mi fan every single day. Uh, yeah, that's something that we have to consider. Okay, so but in certain days, we really have to just eat the noodles, the fried noodles.
Probably I think the price range is about 12 yuan to 18 yuan. Okay, depend on what food that you order. So not so expensive. Okay, over there. Unless you go for a international restaurant, then will be very expensive, like Thai food and so on. So this is actually the food court in the campus. In the campus, they have like 3 big food court, and each food court is a double story. There's a ground floor and there's a first floor. So inside there, each food court they will be having one halal how to say halal store. Yeah, so you can proceed to the halal store, or you can go to those who are selling vegetarians. Like they sell like char kway, they sell the vegetarian noodles, they sell porridge. Okay, this one you also can eat because they don't have any meat over there. Yeah, so this is actually their food court. It's quite big, and uh, uh, I think I can survive in the food court because maybe it's a winter, so it's not that hot, and then the food is quite nice. Okay, I love their breakfast, especially their soya bean. Yeah, it's only like 3 yuan, very very cheap. So, but that is a right timing for you. Like if you want to go to the breakfast, right? Make sure before their lunchtime. Their lunchtime is probably like 12 o'clock. So you have to go before 12. If not, there will be a lot of students. Then you have to queue. Yeah. So you can see this somehow there's a grapes, right? It's a very famous grapes over there. It's very sweet. And this one is only like less than 10 ringgit, I think. Right? 10 or 12 ringgit for these grapes. Very, very cheap. I hope that the February time also have this season. Very, very nice. You should try. And yes, now we come for the payment mode methods. There are two payments methods. One is Alipay and one is WeChat. And knowing that our Touch and Go also have the Alipay function, but not all the shops are, I mean, maybe somehow when you use the Touch and Go, right, they cannot pass the payment. So that's why it is good to advise those who go to China, you download the Alipay because it's free from the Android and also Apple Store. And also the WeChat Pay, right, is once you get your phone number or probably once you get your mobile number over there, then you use a WeChat Pay. Yeah, I mean to top up. And if not, you can use your credit card, okay, as a payment. I mean as a payment tools, okay. So, but still you have to bring some cash. Okay, don't assume that it's cashless, then everything will be okay. But in China, um, technology is the first priority, but we bring some cash for contingency. Yeah. So this is actually the Alipay, pay using the credit card. So you can see that is I screenshot some. So this is actually the front page. Okay, you can see that is Didi. Didi is actually the taxi. Okay, you want to go any places by using taxi. This is a Didi. And then mini program, mini apps is actually a mini program where you can, when you click this mini program, you proceed to the second one. So you can have your, this Ying Yang card is actually a bank card. There is a tour card. Tour card is actually, you can use it to create your temporary bank account, Bank of China. But the limitation is every time when you top up, 5% will be charged. If you top up 100 yuan, they will charge you 105. Yeah. So you can see the rest is like Bawang Chaji. It's very famous in Malaysia, right? The same thing in China. We can always click for the these apps and pre-book before we go to the shop. Yeah, and the rest. Yeah, the restaurant, everything. They're using this all. So this is actually the account, and this is actually the bank cards. See, we have a Bank of Shanghai, and then we have our own Mastercard and Visa card. The reason why I attach, I mean, how to say, I register these two Master and Visa here. Sometime, right? Imagine that we go for lunch and so everything by using digital payment, right? So many if you swipe many times, sometimes Mastercard will block you for temporarily. So you have to use Visa card. So that's why it is better to advise you all to have Master and Visa, okay, so that you can use it. When this is blocked, you can use Visa. Uh, okay, and the payment, how to do payment? You just click pay, and they will proceed to this last screenshot. Okay, you just scan it. Let them to scan you, or you can scan their QR code
Mm.
payment. Yeah. So, but this all you need to use, you need to verify first by using your passport. It's very easy. Just download now. For those who want to go, download now and do a verification now also can. Yeah.
Yes, I advise to do the verification now rather than when you already arrived there. Because in my case, I took like a week or more
Mm.
just to get the verification done. Mm.
Yes. And then you see, right, everything is digital, right? So that's why I mean, the internet is very important. So for us, right, um, maybe my style is like I don't want to be headache, so I just direct use roaming. I think roaming is quite good because we roaming can enable for you to use your WhatsApp, Telegram, this all thing because we still have something that you want to communicate through WhatsApp and so on by using your Google. Okay, so you better to subscribe roaming, but it's a bit expensive. For the Maxis, I think my bill is about 200 plus per month. Yeah, because roaming plus our standard plan. The limitation for roaming is for Maxis is there's a cap for every day. For the high speed cap is 2 GB. But after the 2 GB max limits, right? So no worry, you still can using in the low speed mode. Low speed mode in the sense of you can use it for WhatsApp, you can use it for Telegram, but it might be difficult for you to use it for video chat. Yeah, you want to video call people, right? So if let's say your data is maximum,
Yeah,
fully
talking about
oh,
data, it is also important to, have enough data if you want to go out because obviously you need internet to do the payment. So the 2 GB of data allocated every single day. Sometimes you really need to be calculative on how you're going to be using that
Yeah.
data. Mm.
Yes, correct. Especially if you try to use the data for video, YouTube and so on, right, very fast.
Ya,
I think it's
macam
enough.
Aizat kan, macam Aizat
Yeah.
dia suka tengok video. So maksudnya Aizat have,
Yes.
ya, Aizat kena
Exactly.
rely on either me or
Yeah.
Adrian untuk do the payment. Because dia punya data dah habis 2 GB kan Aizat kan?
Ya betul, setuju.
Yes. But if you want to subtract their mobile, I mean the SIM card, right, is also can, but it's advised, it is good to have two phone. So you have one for roaming and one for local phone. I remember that time I did my SIM card, right? We went all the way to the like a telco center we call China Mobile, and then there's a lot of process. You know, you need to bring your passport, and then they need to scan your thumbprint, and then they need to capture your face and so on. But every month is about 18 yuan. 18 yuan. So you 18 yuan is a basic one without adding any what I say we call as mobile data, but you have the free call 50 minutes or 500 minutes. I've forgotten already. But if you want to add on with the mobile data, maybe 28 or 38 yuan per month for their local domestic. Their local mobile data can only be used in the China itself. I mean, China itself, you can see their mobile plan, right? Because China is very big, right? If you are in Xi'an, there's Xi'an province. But if you go to Shanghai, right, you have to open the, how to say, their national telco. Yeah. So your China mobile, so far 18 yuan for my one is actually only available, only can be used in Xi'an. If I want to go to, let's say, Shanghai, right? So we using my SIM card, right? I have to subtract another package. Yeah, because China is
Yeah,
quite.
at first we thought we can just survive using our Malaysian number and using the roaming package. But I think
Cannot.
yeah, we cannot. Like the second week, we find out that there's a lot of hindrance.
Yeah,
If you don't have, first of all, the Chinese number, and second of all, it's actually the Chinese bank. So even if you have the best platinum card there is, it will not be sufficient,
yeah,
because you really need a Chinese bank
yeah.
to perform some of the transaction. Okay.
And then some of the entertainment here, like we love to watch like K drama, like you through the website like I drama or K drama, something like that, right? So all is banned in China. So there is you can't access unless you use your roaming. By roaming, if you use, you drain off all your mobile data. So there are some apps like iQIYI, this all like the Netflix, but you have to pay like 28 yuan or 38 yuan for 1 month. Yeah. So all the free website, movie website in Malaysia where you can access is unable to access in China. Yeah. So you can see lah, huh? So next is this one, Penguin Live for washing machine. So each of our accommodation, right? Each level there is one washing machine, and if you want to wash your clothes and so on, right? You have to use the apps. And with this, right, you need to have your mobile phone number. If you without mobile phone number, you cannot activate this. So the first thing you when you reach to China, right? Better you subtract one mobile phone. Maybe you have five or six of you. One of you try to have a local number first. Yeah, then you can use this all. Yeah, it's very easy. You can just go there and you click for this wash, and wash plus I need dry. Uh, so once it's done, the app should notify you. You just go there and just collect. Yeah, but you must have China phone number. So for this one, or maybe Rama, you want to explain, or Isaac, you want to explain? Transportation to go to the mosque for the Friday prayer.
Aizat lah, Aizat. Ke Nashraf ke?
Shrub should be better lah because takut aku ni misplace lah ni. Tapi basically very simple lah kalau Nashrab lah. Nashrab lah. Kau ada buat video
Nashraf?
itu.
Okay. All right. So as per the map provided, okay, by Mr. Adrian. So there are several phases. So firstly, it was of course this one applies to SAIU lah. So the first phase is for the walking part.
Actually the transportation ni sebenarnya boleh applicable not only for to go for Friday prayer. Actually boleh juga untuk guna sebagai guide untuk pergi mana-mana lah, such as the mall ke ataupun many other tourist attraction. Actually sorry saya tambah sebenarnya transportation ni MRT is the first, I would say, that people use there in China. Secondly is DD, which is the Grab. Tapi it's very cheap to use MRT here because the fare tu ataupun tambang tu dalam 2 yuan, 3 yuan, sebenarnya sangat murah. Macam pergi balik dalam 6 yuan je. Sebenarnya jauh travel tu. So maybe I start firstly from university to the nearest MRT station tu, and then afterward saya pass dekat Nashraf lah. So actually the most tiring things is actually to walk actually from the university or the campus through the second door. Ada dua door, satu main door, satu lagi second door. Tapi most pedestrian actually uses the second door. So from that second door, okay, we have to walk really approximately 15 minutes lah. If you run a bit, it will be 10 minutes. Tapi kalau if you walk the same pace as other people, it will definitely be 15 minutes because I've walked there plenty of time with time constraint as well as without time constraint. Memang 15 minutes ataupun more depending the pace of your walk lah. Tapi kalau pacing jogging ke running, kita mungkin boleh tanya Aizat ataupun Safwan lah kan. So to walk there, there are, I would say, one junction je from the second gate of the university, XAIU. You will pass by several shop lot, okay, and then afterward you have to turn left, okay, and then you have at the end of the road there, you will see a four junction road, okay, and then you have to cross the road and then you will enter the tunnel lah. So you can walk through the stairs into the MRT station. So I know for 15 minutes and then walking in a colder climate, it's not a problem. Tapi you can imagine if you carry a lot of stuff, okay, and then sometimes if you feel like a bit tired ke fatigue ke from all of those walking, going back to the university from the MRT station feels like, I would say, a daunting experience lah, because it's actually quite far. Tapi it's doable. It's just that sometimes maybe you can, for example, go to the MRT station by walking, and maybe back from the mall, for example, you can just use DD ataupun Grab. And then DD ataupun Grab too, you can access through Alipay app, and then it's rather cheap compared to our own Malaysian punya Grab, lagi murah. Okay, so I pass to Nashraf daripada Zangba Belu tu kepada masjid.
Okay. Now, firstly, I'd like to add, especially for those of you yang plan, okay, that are planning to, that will be going there, okay. So it is advisable to use Alipay as your main app lah. For because Alipay is the super app. You can use it like Rahmat mentioned and Adrian mentioned for DD, for power bank rental, for payment, okay. And why I say, how does this relate to MRT? Because in Xi'an, you can use Alipay to actually generate QR code to basically to make payments for the MRT. In short, you just open up the mini program for MRT. It will generate a QR code, and you just scan the QR code at the entrance of the MRT, the gate there, and then you can just straight away go in. Okay, so you don't have to worry about the ticketing part lah. Okay, of course the manual ticket option is always available. Okay, but we ask me that this is something we every one of us discovered, I think, the last week of our stay there. So using Alipay to scan the QR
betul,
code.
Alipay pun boleh guna untuk bike rental.
Yes, yeah, for bike rental, for MRT. So in short, it is advisable to make Alipay your main app lah. Okay, Touch and Go is the second app. Okay, now for China, their MRT. Another thing I'd like to add is there is like a security scanner at each
Betul,
station.
betul. Agree.
Okay,
Betul penting.
so
Agree.
yes, if you are bringing in any sort of like backpack, so you have to scan it. Okay, and then this is my own personal experience. Okay, for those of you, I mean this one I think applies for Ridwan lah. Nak pergi masjid, okay. So it is advisable to bring a small bottle of water for wudu purposes. Okay, so if this goes into your backpack and it goes through the scanner, this will trigger questions lah from the security personnel there. Okay, so because it is based on the same principle applies lah for airlines, right? Okay, liquid, so it will trigger suspicions. So better to just put it into your jacket and then go through the normal human scanner. That is okay. Okay, all right. Now, when it comes to the journey itself, okay, for the MRT itself, it can be a bit daunting because the MRT system is more sophisticated than us. There are many lines.
Many lines, betul. You have to
So
change.
many
Sometimes you have to
lines.
change. Tapi
Yeah.
dia punya train frequency is very
Yes.
banyak.
Very frequent. So no, the waiting period is not like what we experience in Malaysia lah. Okay, so maybe at most 5 minutes, but I think we never wait 5 minutes lah. I think we
Kalau
just
kat
wait,
sini
I think 2-3 minutes.
MRT Putrajaya line tu 8 minit. Kalau kat sana dalam at most macam 2-3 minutes je semuanya.
Yes.
Tak perlu rushing sangat pun. 2-3
Okay,
minutes
and
ada
then when it
next
comes to
train.
yeah, correct. When it comes to changing the lines, you need to be aware of the destination. Okay, so for example, kalau kita kat sini, let's say di Putrajaya line, one end is di katalah Putra Heights, the other end is let's say lah KLCC dah tak ingat. So you have to be aware of that because when you go into the MRT, I mean you go down to the platform itself, you need to be able to determine which platform to ride on. Okay, so you have to look at the map to the destination part.
Betul
okay.
sebab dia color coded juga, sebab if you want to change line, maksudnya daripada satu line kepada line lain tu, kadang-kadang you kena naik satu level ataupun turun satu level untuk pergi kepada platform tu.
Correct. So after changing the lines and then okay, and it is also advisable you guys download Zian MRT map beforehand lah, so you dapat tahu lah where to go lah. Okay. And then after arriving, the name of the station dah tak ingat. Okay, and then it's just another walking distance. However, this comes the bit tricky part lah. Okay, after arriving the intended destination, station tu, nak kena find out. I think this applies to most of the stations, MRT stations in Xi'an. You also need to determine which exit you want to go, because every station there are multiple exits. It caters to multiple directions. So in the case of the mosque for Friday prayers, there are specific exit to choose. They were to walk out and go up to the ground floor or the road level too, then walk another walking distance lah. Okay, to the mosque for Friday prayers. So I think that pretty much sums it lah. Okay, for MRT. If you guys want to explore the MRT, one more thing I'd like to add is preferably avoid peak hours lah, because peak hour, for example, let's say between 4:30 to maybe 6:30 or 7 p.m. That is when everyone is rushing back home, so it can be a lot. But the good thing is MRT is very efficient, so they cater the crowd. Usually it doesn't get too large lah, but still lah. Okay, it can be a bit daunting lah, so to say. So it's best to explore MRT during off-peak period. Okay, I think that pretty much sums it lah, Rahman, for the Friday prayer part.
Yeah, betul. Very good lah presentation, Nashraf. No worries, Nashraf has video footages of the journey from the university to the mosque. So kalau nak boleh dapatkan the video footage tu daripada Nashraf lah. So the
Tengah
several
compile.
tengah
Tengah compile ya.
boleh buat TikTok video Nashraf, jadikan satu TikTok
Yes,
video.
yes.
Okay, so we go back to Adrian.
Oh yeah, I think the slide is end, but we will continue with Hilmi. Hilmi is prepared the how to say the slide to show about our English. I mean at the English level of our students over there. Yeah, Hilmi.
Okay, before Hilmi, I'm going to present a bit first. Okay, kejap sebelum Hilmi saya present dulu Adrian.
Boleh.
Okay, alright. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen now. Just a simple presentation, guys. Okay, so this is what Mr. Nashraf mentioned just now, which is actually the Metro punya map. So it is important to know we are actually from, kalau Xi'an University lah, we are from the Zangba Belu ni lah, which is North Zangba Road, translated as Zangba Belu lah. Alright, so from here, for example, to go to the mosque, okay, so you have to walk around 15 minutes, okay, from the university to the MRT station, which is the nearest one, okay, and then from that you can follow the instruction, okay, to go to the mosque. So you need to transfer, okay, to eventually reach the Zonglo ni, which is the bell tower, okay. So you can transfer, kalau tengok kat sini, you can transfer either dekat Dayanta ni, kat Kejilu ni ataupun KG Road ni lah. So you transfer from this purple line to the blue color line ni, and then to eventually reach dekat Zonglo. Kat Zonglo ni, this is the bell tower, which is the nearest station to the mosque, the grand mosque, okay, where we have the Friday prayer. Okay, so it's okay kalau maybe nak go to the Xi'an for this job ataupun for just vacation, just let us know. We are definitely more than willing to share the experiences lah and the tips. Okay, so moving on, this is the classroom. Okay, so if you can see here, we have the students, around 20 students. This is on top of the library, and then this is the screen where I was teaching unit 1 here, which is related to the unit conversion. Okay, so we have a screen, okay, and then this is how they have the hybrid classroom with the camera as well as the ceiling microphone. Okay, so how to actually start teaching? Obviously, you enter and then in this case, you have to connect your device, either your laptop, or in my case, I use iPad. Okay, so I connect the iPad adapter to the HDMI, and then it is going to display on the main screen. So they don't have the whiteboard. Probably you can request that, or sometimes they will change the venue if you have if you need whiteboard to teach. But for me, I find it very useful to just only use my iPad, okay, to show the working in order to solve the physics question. So in this case, I also asked one of the student, Dijia Cheng, if I'm not mistaken, to actually write down his answer on the screen. So he's actually using my Apple Pencil, okay, and then write down on my iPad. So obviously you need to have adapter, okay, to use the iPad, okay, and then from that you can display your screen. Obviously you can display, for example, your PowerPoint slides, okay, to teach, okay, and then I would say this is how the class is set up. All right, so moving on, this is another classroom for the business student. Okay, so this is the classroom for the business student. All right. And then I would share, this is the Cup Lab. So this is actually sort of our office, our second or second place, okay, to do work. Okay, for example, here I'm marking the midterm test. All right, so definitely Cup Lab is another coffee shops aside from Luckin Coffee, with, I would say, a comfortable sitting. All right, so if you want to do work, regardless either in the hotel or in the Cup Lab or in the Luckin Coffee inside of the campus, you need to be connected to their Wi-Fi. So you need to ask the program coordinator, which is Miss Asia, to give you the credentials. Okay, so this is actually based from the digits of my passport, which is going to be my ID, and then the password is generated by them, by their IT staff. So you need to log in. Obviously, everything is in Chinese, so most of the time I have to screen capture, all right, and then use, for example, Apple Translator, because we don't have Google Translate there. So I use Apple apps translator to translate all of these buttons and words inside of the page. All right, so this is a Chinjan restaurant. Okay, so probably as you can see here at the top here, this is Mr. Nashraf. Okay, and then this is the halal signage or Chinjan there. Okay, and then this is the menu. So the food there, I would say it's quite cheap, relatively cheaper than Malaysia. So for example, the entire dish here, including side dishes, it is around 25 yuan. So if you calculate 25 yuan is actually around 16 ringgit, okay, inclusive of foods as well as these additional side dishes. All right. So again, you have to use the app. So for example, this is the WeChat app. Okay, so you have to scan. So you obviously you have to order. Okay, maybe you can just point on the board here, which is, this is actually just right after the main the secondary gate of the campus. So it's not that far from the campus gate. All right, so order from the menu. Obviously you have to take pictures and do the translation, and then afterward, when you want to pay, you have to ask for the seller how much is it, and then you have to scan using either your WeChat or Alipay. Okay, this is the QR. Okay, and then put in the amount. Okay, so that is how you order and pay in, I would say, most of the restaurants in China, in Xi'an. So this is, I would say, the central kitchen. So my room has become the central kitchen. So where we have most of the cooking. Okay, so no worries for the secondary batch. Okay, lecturer, we have the electric cooker ready for you. Okay, you can ask the coordinator. This one we bought from the Taobao app and then delivered to the campus, okay? But not particularly inside of the campus. It is at the shops in front of the gate, okay, of the campus. So this is the electric cooker that you can use later on, and then this is the foods, okay? Some of them are still there, and then obviously it's not expired yet, so you can use some of them. Okay, so definitely cooking is important because sometimes you get bored of eating noodles and fried rice. Okay, so in this case, we do have our own Malaysian cook here. Here we have Mr. Safwan as well as Mr. Aizat preparing. If I'm mistaken, during this time we have the, apa nama dia, masak lemak daging. Okay, so moving on, this is the examination week. All right, so we've placed the examination paper on the table, all right, during the examination week. And then at the very last week, we have a visitation from the Consul General of Malaysia in Xi'an, which is Mr. Lam Wan Liang. All right, okay. And then this was the ceremony. Actually, he is visiting the Xi'an International University, and we were part of, I would say, the exhibitors lah. All right, so this is actually the mosque, okay. And then we have the donation box here, still using QR. And then this is the prayer time. So the prayer time here is actually adjusted according to the working hours. So if you use your apps, regardless Jakim app, Colby app, or Noor app, you will see that the Zuhur prayer times is slightly different because it is adjusted to their to their break time. Okay, so you can use this prayer time as your reference. Okay, and then this is actually the front yard of the mosque, the grand mosque, after you have taken the MRT um right. Okay, and then this is what is inside of the mosque. Okay, so I feel like it is one of the most memorable experience, which is actually um experiencing a different culture. Okay, obviously in a different place. Okay, so this is actually the tour card inside of your Alipay. All right, so as you can see here, we have, this is what we call as the mini apps. So the mini apps is actually the smaller apps inside of the super app here, which is actually the Alipay. So DD is the Grab. Okay, and then if you click here, we have the tour card. So the tour card is going to be linked to Bank of Shanghai. So as mentioned by both of Nashraf as well as Mr. Adrian, this is something that we explored. We found out later on, which is actually during the third week. So because most of the transaction requires a Chinese bank, right? So I Googled and then I found out from rotikaya.com. Okay, so they have this info regarding on how to open a Chinese bank. So it is a tour card, and then this tour card has a validity around, if I'm not mistaken, 90 days. Right. So this is very useful because in the end you have to use this in order to um wash your clothes using the washing machine. So this is the washing machine. I really hope that actually it just uses, for example, notes, bank notes or coins. However, there's no such thing there. It's always QR. So you have to open your Alipay apps and then scan. Okay, and then definitely for this one, you need to have Bank of Shanghai or any Chinese bank. You cannot use your credit card. And then another thing, you also need a Chinese number. Okay, so I know sometimes because of the very dry climate, we don't sweat a lot. Okay, we don't really have to change our clothes a lot. But when you want to wash your clothes, definitely, washing machine is the best option because if not, with the cold water, it's very cold, okay, in the bathroom. And then I would say a very rough water, probably because of the chlorine, it can actually dry out your hands a lot. Okay, so I guess that's all from my part. And then now we're going to transfer the presentation to Mr. Hilmi. Okay, Mr. Hilmi.
Yeah, okay. Alright, Rahmat, before I proceed with my presentation, can I need the help with the slide?
All right, I'm going to share the slides now. So this is your slide. Just tell me the cue to turn the page to the next
Ah,
slide.
okay, okay. Alright, so Assalamualaikum and good morning, everyone. So let's proceed with my slide, my sharing. Okay, let's go to the introduction. Okay, so for me, I was assigned to teach two subjects, two English subjects that were taken by the students of foundation.
Yes, I
So we
think
have
the two subject is the most difficult subject compared to other subject. Correct, right, Mr. Hilmi?
Okay, so ENNF 1003 slash ENNF 103 Foundation English, and also ENGF 103 English for academic purpose. So for both of these subjects, the total students are 41 because it's a combination from both students of computer science and also business administration. Okay, all right. So next, right. So for the first semester, the duration of the semester is were 11 weeks of classes, but for the first 8 weeks, classes were online. So we had to use Booth, where the meeting QR code is shared by the people over there from Miss Bai Ming, the coordinator. Okay. And only in the final 3 weeks of classes that we had face to face. So you can imagine that for the first 8 weeks, the setting of the class is where I have a camera view of the whole class. There's no interaction with individual students, so it's really difficult to gauge the students' understanding. Okay, I can only gauge from whatever task I've given them. Okay, either submitted at Padlet and so on. Okay, all right. So next page, Rahmat.
Dah ke? Dah tukar ke?
Okay.
This one.
This one. Okay. So this is the class venue. I think another perspective has been shown has been shared by the others just now, but it's just to share with you the class venue for both English subjects was set at level 5. This is the actually it's not a class, it's some kind of lecture theatre. Okay. Level 5 in the College of International Cooperation, CIC. So this the most convenient thing is that because this building is can be reached within 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, yeah, from the hotel, from the accommodation. Okay, and the students are there, and so this is the basically the setting where the I had to have my laptop connected at the front, and then so the students can see the slide from the display. Right. Next. Okay. During the start of the semester, before classes begin, I already created a WeChat group because after getting to know that WeChat is uh, the most convenient form of communication. Otherwise, in normally in for the Malaysian classes, I would use Telegram, but yes, I find out that WeChat is much better. So I created a group that combines this for the two subjects that I'm teaching. Okay, next one. Okay, and also I was requested because the classes was also assigned a teaching assistant, and the teaching assistant contacted me and asked me to share my slides that I'll be using in the classes before the classes. So this is where the platform where I share my PowerPoints. Okay, all right. Next one. And also request this one after having my first two classes. Okay, I was also requested by the teaching assistant to prepare a glossary part. Okay, usually for normal lessons, normal PowerPoints that I use for my subjects, I don't have a glossary section or glossary page, but was requested. So after that that feedback, this is what I do I add for every single lesson that I have. So you probably need to have this glossary to explain the meaning. Okay. All right. So let's proceed to the next one. And also the writing, especially for foundation English, I have the students writing. Okay, I've given them tasks, and during the online class, the first 8 weeks were this is the feedback that I get. From the I can only gauge my students' comprehension from what they have written here. But actually, when it comes to the final 3 weeks, when I'm finally there, when we are all finally there for the classes, it's only then that we know, okay, how actually how the students' understanding of English and their usage. Okay, they actually rely quite a lot on translators. All right. Okay, next page, Rahmat. Okay, do you have time for this? Maybe I can, this is to show you one sample of student assignment, about 2 minutes.
I think we can.
Okay,
Let me reshare the screen.
okay. I'm sharing this because this is to show you the general level of English. Okay, and sometimes it's quite hard. You need to listen carefully in order to for you to understand. I mean, for me to understand what the students are saying. Okay, so we can use this as the general rather than the exception.
Hi teacher, my name is Nana. You can call me Nana. This is my homework and I will present it in question and answer format. Question 1. What is your favorite beverage? I like it. I like drink tea with milk. Question 2. What is your favorite cake? I like chocolate cake very much. Question 3. What is your favorite movie? I love Marvel movies. I love Spider-Man very much. Question 4. If you could read a man code with wardrobe, wardrobe, I I would choose the woman's wardrobe. Question 4. What is your favorite dessert? I I like chocolate pudding. Question 6. Favorite Disney animals. I like Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Question 7. Question 7. What is a city you always to visit? I want to go to Melbourne. Because I think Melbourne is a beautiful city. Question 8. What was your worst subject in school? I think math and English is very difficult. Question 9. What is something which you could be good at? Uh, I wish I was good at studying. Question 2. Plans for the weekend. Uh, I'm worried and stray animals shoot this weekend. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, everyone. Okay, hear me.
All right. So, as you can see from one sample of the video, okay. So I would say this is like the general um, English that you will find from the students. Okay, where as mentioned earlier, you might be it's recommended that you use simple English to interact with them, and then also when they interact with you, uh, as for me, I need to listen. Uh, and some cases need really to probably need to them to repeat something so that I can get a clear understanding what they were saying. Okay, and also on this page is just sample of students' written assignment. Okay, and this one is done only after we have started our face-to-face classes because only then I can really make them right there. Okay, rather than sending things to be written and then submitted to Padlet or online. Okay, so it's here we can see the students write written example. Okay, and next one. Okay, so a couple of things regarding the English language enhancement classes that were done. For the classes, the venue that was set is in CIC, still the same building as the venue, except they were done in level 1. So the classes was on Mondays at 7 p.m. Right. So these are the basically the setting. So where all the students are combined and one student will take the attendance. But for uh, for the throughout the classes that we did there, there were no. I mean, there will be a few students missing. Okay, all right. Next one. Another one. Next one. Okay. So for this for the classes I did the help from the others, because we did quite of a number of speaking activities, because these were something that were lacking, because in the normal English classes I need to pick out names, and then to get them to speak, because they were really hard to get voluntary answers from the students. So after the first a few classes, okay, I thought that okay, I need to call out specific names in order for to get them to contribute. So for the activities that we done during the enhancement classes, we did quite a number of speaking activities, either individuals and in groups. Then basically just to get them to speak out using English. Okay, so we did some activities that, for example, like I use a ball to pass around. I ask them question, and then I pass the ball to the intended question student to answer, and then once the question has been answered, the student then need to ask a question to somebody that he or she will pass the ball to. Yeah. Okay. So there's a lot of activities rather than written. Okay, because written activities were already done a lot during the classes. Okay.
Yeah, I think
And
the ball passing activity is important because, and it's very helpful because it's, quite difficult to get a volunteer. And then it's always going to be the same student volunteering to answer. And then very small number of them willing to volunteer. So you really either need to call up their name, or in this case, Mr. Hilmi really did well by having the ball passed around, okay, in order to have the next participant in the activity.
okay, and then the final class before the exam was just used to expose the students, showed them the formats for both English papers, and also few example of questions lah. So that's it basically for the for from me. Okay, so I think that's next. Anything else to add? Okay, yeah. So that's all from me.
Thank you, Mr. Hilmi, especially in sharing the video footage of the students' assignment. Um, can you imagine that is something that has been, prepared by the student to answer? That for me would be one of the best um, language usage of the student lah. So can you imagine when you try to talk to them face to face, you really need to use very basic English in order to have a very effective communication. Yeah, and I think again, Mr. Hilmi is the one with the biggest task compared to us, because mathematics or physics, it's easier because you can just point to the whiteboard next and you do this next, but for English, I think he has the most teaching load. Teaching, it's the hardest subject there to be taught in the university there. Yeah, Hilmi, ada apa-apa nak tambah ke?
Okay, I think yeah, that's all from me. So I'll accept any questions later lah. All right, thank you.
Okay, welcome. All right, so thank you everyone for your questions in the chat box. Does anyone have any question to ask us? You can just unmute yourself.
Hi, Rahmat. Zakia here.
Hi,
Okay.
Zakia.
Okay, I have two questions. The first one, I think I posted in the chat, but I think it's missing because everyone scroll down. My question, the first one is for the Alipay registration, do we need to use my Malaysian number or the Chinese number?
For
Because I saw the registration, we need to enter like international number. So can we use our Malaysian number for the
Actually,
registration?
yes, you can use your Malaysian number to register for Alipay. However, because it is sort of a super app, when you want to use the mini program, for example, for the washing machine, then it will jump to a smaller or another app. So then you have to use your you have to use Chinese as well as bank number as well as
Oh,
Chinese bank account. But
I
you can
see.
use your phone number for the Alipay. There's no problem with that. But when you want to use the mini programs, the smaller
I
apps,
see.
then you have to use Chinese number as well as Chinese bank account.
Okay, noted. So when if we want to set now, then we need to use our Malaysian number. But when
Yeah,
we'll be
Malaysian
there,
number.
then we need to like another phone to register using Chinese number.
Dia
No need,
macam
no need.
tak
If
tak
let's
tak.
say some application you want to use, and some apps they will set to ask you to insert the local domestic number, then only you put in your local
Okay.
phone.
Okay,
Yeah.
understood. Alright,
Because
and
Betul.
then
Sebenarnya boleh pakai Malaysian number je. Cuma
yes,
no need pun. Tapi kalau nak basuh baju ke, then nak pakai power bank ke, then dia akan jump into
I
those
see.
mini
like
programs
like
ataupun
the
Okay.
local shopping mall, right? I mean, you want to join the membership, you have Alipay, but they need you to insert the domestic number. Because
Okay,
later on, right,
understood.
the domestic number is actually the member ID.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
understood. And then my second question, since we are all aware that all the students have English barrier, so what is the tip to tackle the students? Like what kind of like activities that can like we can more engage with them, like take tips because they have like English
Body
barrier.
language.
So multi-language
Body
or
language and
Chinese,
try to show a lot
Chinese
of
language.
pictures like Ramat.
yeah, you can try to show pictures. I sometimes gamble with the translation. Kadang-kadang kita ambil like several words kan, macam collisions tu find for
Meaning
example.
we want to try to engage with them with their language so that we can tackle them during
Correct. So
class.
on the slides tu adalah Chinese characters to for collision, for example.
I
Yeah.
see.
So and then obviously I discovered, for example, ada banyak animations yang saya guna untuk tunjukkan the situations lah in physics. That's my approach. Sometimes I also bring a Chinese speaking lecturer, which is Adrian, in my class to live translate my lecture. That sometimes
I
actually very
see.
helpful.
Okay, understood. So we have Mr. Liao. If
Tapi
Mr. Liao wants to
macam
join ours.
Mr. Nashraf, he's very good with the translating apps. Dia pakai Microsoft Translator, which is good sebab Microsoft is not banned. So you can use Wi-Fi there and then use Microsoft Translator. Dia boleh live translate. So maksudnya you speak in English, the app will capture your voice, translate to Chinese, and then it will speak out the translation in Chinese so that the student will understand, and then the student answer in Chinese, and then it will capture their voice and then translate it to English and then speak it out automatically. So the conversational instead of just text. That is important juga lah, Microsoft Translator.
If we just use the if I'm using iPhone translator, we can scan and then we can use also, I think, I'm not sure about the
Ada
voice.
conversation, ada juga conversation tu.
Can we
Boleh,
use
tapi
that? Similar
boleh,
one?
cuma kadang-kadang dia tu lah, kadang-kadang dia tak capture sangat. Dia tak
I see.
capture
Okay.
the conversation tu.
Alright.
Tapi boleh, it's doable. So on that note, it is good kalau pakai iPhone ke ataupun Samsung ke kan, you try to use other apps than the Google punya services tu. So yang contoh macam saya pakai Apple punya Maps rather than Google Map untuk itulah, untuk get around the places tu.
I think later
Can
Mr.
I just
Nasraf can share the
explain,
app's name. What is the
yeah,
app's name for the translation?
Okay, for translation, based on my observation, for image translation purpose, I find Google Translate is the best. But for verbal translation, for the purpose of communicating with the students or the locals, because one thing we have to bear in mind, the locals in China, it's very difficult to find those that can converse in English lah. Not unlike in Malaysia or in Thailand, for example, we can still find the shop people able to speak basic English, but in China it's very, very difficult. So for verbal translation purpose, I find Microsoft Translator is the best. However, it is regardless of any app, I would highly recommend to download the offline translation pack before leaving Malaysia. Because
Betul.
once in China, it is difficult to download the offline translation pack for some reason.
Betul. Yeah, you can download the language tu in the app,
Yes.
translating app tu. So dia pakai offline data je. Offline tu lah, offline memory je lah tanpa guna your internet. Which is actually
Correct,
faster,
correct.
which is very good.
Mm-hmm.
And
Ah,
for
Okay,
lecture
betul,
purpose, we can you guys can also use the built-in translation features in Microsoft PowerPoint. So when you are even in full screen, when you're giving the lecture, the laptop will detect your voice and then it will translate into a Chinese subtitle that will appear on screen. So that also helps actually.
Okay, that's interesting. We will try later.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Nashwa.
And then
Thank you,
just to
Rahmat.
clarify on the luggage tu kan, yes, it is 23, betul. 23 tu untuk international flight. So tapi to go to the airport tu, to the from Xi'an to Shenzhen, yang itu domestic 20. So ultimately sebenarnya 20 kg, faham tak? Lepas tu dah daripada Shenzhen ke KL, then baru dia considered as 23 kg luggage.
So if we from KL to Shenzhen 23, and then from Shenzhen to Xi'an, it will be 20.
Correct.
Oh, then we need to stand by 20 kg ke lah ni?
Macam mana, Adrian?
Yes, basically it's like that. Cuma kalau let's say if you are from Malaysia to China, you terus 23 kg je. If you using China Airline, China Southern Airline.
Yeah,
Kalau you
China
guna
Southern
the
Airline.
Shenzhen Airline, sebab you are required to collect the bag out and recheck in. Kalau you kena recheck in, means dalam domestic sana dia akan check on 20 kg.
Oh, okay.
So have to see which airline they purchase for you. Kemungkinan they will actually to prefer Asia also, because I think Asia nowadays they book out already for the direct flight.
Yes,
So you
to
still have to
Xi'an.
see
Yeah, I
whether
saw
which
the
airline they choose.
advertisement. Betul. But I'm
Yeah.
not sure siapa yang sepatutnya recommend to Xi'an ni kan, pihak Xi'an untuk beli. Kalau ada yang boleh, Mr. Adrian, kalau you boleh suggest.
Ya, sebenarnya benda ni
sometimes
penting juga sebenarnya because you're travelling for a very long time kan. I mean you're staying
If
there for a
20,
very
I think very limited. Nak bawa
20
memang
tu
agak
macam
sikit.
7
It's still very
days
limited,
kan.
Yeah.
Yes.
They will
Adrian
what
can suggest to Xi'an kan, to buy for Asia punya. Sebab memang nampak ada, now is from Malaysia to Xi'an ada.
Yeah. We will try, but
Dia
it's
baru
just like
advertise.
they will do whether is it following what is our requirement or not, then it's different story lah. But we will try to request.
Okay. Right, thank you.
Any other question, guys? You can just freely unmute yourself. Yeah, it's a very free and easy session now. And then in the meantime, you can fill in the evaluation as well as attendance. Do rate us well, and then do fill in the attendance to for the CPD points. Okay. Ada apa-apa soalan tak nak tanya? Maybe kita boleh minta Aizat to share a bit of like, for example, motivational words ke ataupun something to share to the following batch lecturer. Yes? Siapa ya?
Rahmat. Azam.
Sir Azam. In the cockpit.
Sorry. Nak tanya, teaching assistant tu dia boleh berbahasa Inggeris atau tak? Macam mana dia punya English proficiency?
Very good.
Communicate selalu kan?
She understand. She understand English.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
to answer that, she can speak English well, and then you can use the teaching assistant to help translate your lessons. She's okay in language, English language proficiency too. She's good lah. And then she can translate help translate your lessons. I mean like bukanlah macam 100% kan. Macam sometimes if you ask them, the student, to do assessment ke, you can request them to instruct the student lah.
Mana kena kalau boleh macam Ramai cakap, English sebenarnya subjek yang agak tough juga nak diajar di sana kan.
Betul. We had like sort of joke lah kan, internal joke lah. Macam English is the hardest lah for the student to score compared to computing, programming, physics, maths. So it feels like they score very low on English, but they can perform well in this very technical subject. So that is our practical our internal joke lah there at the Xi'an University there lah.
Sebab ada satu subjek tu, Malaysian Culture Students. Subjek tu dia membincangkan ialah subjek culture kan. So bahasa terminologi yang digunakan bukan yang biasa-biasa kan, yang bukan yang kaleng-kaleng.
Ya, terminologi tu kan.
Tahu. Jadi kalau yang apa, daily use pun susah dia nak faham, yang bahasa lagi ataupun terminologi lebih tinggi, takut dia tua. Nangis je kot.
Saya masa dapat subjek physics for computing ni, saya rasa the syllabus is very light compared to COE punya physics, but I'm so thankful lah because the easier syllabus tu actually very helpful because of the language barrier tu. So macam tu lah, macam kalau Azam ajar Malaysian Cultural Studies tu probably need more macam glossary, tapi simpler language is important lah.
Faham. Ya. Kena cari jalan tengah. Okay, Rahmat, terima kasih. And
You're welcome. Thank you for joining. Aizat, anything to share? We're going to go around the team member here.
So far okay kot. Bagi saya, pergi in one piece, balik in one piece, itu okay dah. Okay. Pergi selamat dah okay dah.
Betul. Sebenarnya rasa macam quite challenging juga. Macam sometimes it does feels macam a survival mode juga, because for me the language lah, because if you walk around the mall ke, if you want to buy souvenirs ke, very few sellers can speak the English language. Alright, so moving on now to Safwan. Safwan, dia selalu jog in the morning because our hotel we have stadium in front. Maybe Safwan boleh share a bit.
Assalamualaikum, selamat pagi.
Assalamualaikum.
Actually tak ada apa pun nak di-share. Tak adalah, actually it was fine. Kalau siapa memang best. Actually dia punya environment pun best. Actually we have an environment semua. So kepada yang the new team untuk pergi ke sana tu, just have fun lah. Kalau actually boleh je lah survive, tak ada masalah pun, because of macam saya pun sebelum tu pun pernah pergi juga macam jalan using MRT sorang-sorang semua kan. Tapi yang
betul, hebat Safwan. Safwan pernah pergi jalan naik MRT sorang-sorang.
Yes. So yang paling penting, you must have the Google punya translate lah, because sometimes pun memang I don't have because we have the language barrier tu, memang kita punya problem dalam language, okay. But then kalau let's say if you have the Google Translate pun, I think it's enough lah, because actually you can just like type whatever that you the question whatever that you want, okay, and then after that you just translate it and just show the person lah, okay, tunjuk kat orang tu, and then they will talk, and then kita boleh translate balik juga. So itu paling penting lah kalau you nak pergi berjalan ke apa ke, yang paling penting for me adalah Google Translate tu. ketegasan itu memang sangat-sangat penting lah for your communication, because of memang kita punya problem adalah memang language lah. Even though kalau if you see the apa yang makcik-makcik cleaner semua tu pun memang diorang pun speak in Chinese, not speak English, so kita pun je lah, itu je apa yang kita boleh buat lah.
Selalunya kita ya macam toi keyi je kan, walaupun dia marah kita kan.
Yes, itu je lah apa yang saya boleh share lah kot. And then for maths punya pun, but same like physics. Actually, I was lucky because of dia punya syllabus tu is not tough compared to COE. Cuma the same thing, the same problem is the language jugalah, because of sometimes the negative number pun when I mention negative pun they don't know. So I think they learn, but the problem is because of the language tu lah dimakkan kita agak
I agree, saya setuju Safwan, sebab sebenarnya diorang pandai juga. Cuma sebenarnya diorang belajar fully in Chinese kan?
Yeah, diorang fully in Chinese. So because of kalau if you perasan pun tiba-tiba jawapan saya pun dalam bahasa Chinese juga. Ada dia punya explanation lah in Chinese. So apa yang saya boleh katakan adalah just have fun sajalah untuk get through the journey semua tu. So try to rapat dengan diorang lah, rapat dengan students lah. Itu je lah yang saya boleh share. Thank you.
Thank you so much Safwan. So maybe Nashrah pula. Okay, Zakia nak tanya soalan
Tak apalah, bagi Nasha cakap dulu.
Zakia tanya, Nashrah jawab.
Okay. I just have another one question. How about safety? Meaning safety for women. In terms of safety for women.
Rasanya safety untuk lelaki yang lagi bahaya.
Ya ke?
Betul-betul, kami terancam.
Serius ke?
Kami terancam
Kenapa?
di sana.
Untuk women tak ada masalah.
Aizat paling terancam sebab dia pakai baju oren.
Terancam.
But generally,
what I mean is if we walk around, mingle around in the campus, so if women wearing hijab, and then is there any issues ke?
I rasa
diskriminasi lah. Tak ada. I think it should be very safe. In fact, with our stay, the duration of our stay there, we don't feel threatened whatsoever. We don't face any discrimination whatsoever. So not just especially within campus lah. With the campus very safe. Even in the city of Xi'an itself pun is very safe. You feel that the presence of the police too, not just physically but through the cameras around.
I see.
Ada banyak sangat CCTV.
Just to add lah. Tapi kalau tiba-tiba diminta Zakia tarik ni ke, sebabnya selalunya kakak yang pakai tudung ni semua yang niaga. Kau minta kau tarik ni.
Silap orang ingatkan waitress
Zakia, as long as just the hotel punya access card tu, it's actually can come in handy juga tau sebenarnya. So if you just put it in a lanyard, kadang-kadang orang nampak ni Heywan Hotel which is in the XAIU, so they know you are Lausha.
Kita pakai macam tag nama tu yang kita biasa dalam macam kat Unit 10 lah. So letak kad tu.
Yes. And then senang bila nak go every time kita nak enter and exit the campus through the security gate tu. So we just show the card and then mention Heywan. Heywan is the Chinese name for Lotus Hotel. Then the security guard akan tahulah. Then kita dapat.
So it's very important for us to bring our card everywhere in the campus.
Betul.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
Tapi soalan Zakia ni sebenarnya susah nak jawab juga sebenarnya, sebab obviously our first batch ni tak ada experience with female lecturer kan. I can just say obviously we stuck out a bit lah because of our skin tone semua kan, or definitely we don't look like local kan. And then sometimes just to reduce the stare tu, I use face mask all the time, not only for health reason but just to blend in with the local, just to reduce the stare.
Wear mask lah.
Untuk hijabis tu betul juga macam Aizat cakap, sebenarnya kebanyakan Muslim restoran yang Muslim Chinese female servant tu yang pakai hijab. Tak ramai lah, it's a very small occurrence lah nak nampak hijab wearer ni lah. So I think maybe kena macam incorporate the macam sort of locals punya kind of wear lah. Macam in that case macam sweater yang muted colours macam tu lah. Macam
Okay, understood. Okay. Alright, thank you. Thank you, Rahmat. Thank you, Nasraf and
welcome.
others.
Okay,
Sorry,
Rahmat, I'd like to add just a little bit, maybe another few more tips to the already very good tips that has been provided by Mr. Rahmat and Mr. Adrian. One thing is about roaming though. Okay, I'm not sure if it's still available, but for the next batch, maybe you guys can go to Celcom, Locube, and inquire if they still
Tak ada
offer the
dah. Tahun ni tak ada dah.
188. Oh, dah tak ada dah
Puan
Oh,
Roslina
that's the one
share.
lah.
Dah tanya dah.
I see.
Kan?
That's too bad lah. That's the best package for roaming.
Yeah, Nashraf has the best roaming package because all of us have like capped speed internet speed. Tapi dia all the time boleh access the internet lah, Google lah, YouTube. I know something it's like not really the main concern lah macam entertainment ni kan, but we are so used to the products tu.
Yeah. And speaking of the entertainment, I would also recommend the next batch to just a suggestion bring along HDMI cable lah. Kalau tak ada, saya boleh sambung tu TV kat hotel. So another form of
agree. Sebab TV kat sana tak boleh buka channel. You have to pay. It's a subscription base. So walaupun ada TV, you kena masuk you punya credential lah, Iki ke Ichi tu ke kan, baru boleh access the channels.
Oh, by the way, can we open Bilibili instead of YouTube? Can we open Bilibili? I think Bilibili from China kan?
Yes, Bilibili boleh.
Okay.
Okay, then that's good. Okay.
Cuma nak cari content tu a bit challenging lah. At least for social science lah, a bit challenging sikit. Not as much like YouTube lah.
Okay. Alright.
Sir Azam, ada soalan kan?
Ya, Mat. Sorry. Boleh ke masak dalam bilik ataupun tak, and then ada disediakan peralatan pinjam mangkuk ke, kalau boleh masak tu digunakan stove ke apa tu.
Faham soalan tu. So this is actually the room. Our rooms lah, every room ada pantry macam ni. So dia obviously entrance dekat tepi ada toilet, ada 2 beds. I don't know if you're sharing the room together, tapi memang ada 2 single beds, and then here we have these sliding doors to the pantry. So at the pantry there we have here we have the refrigerator, the electric kettle, as well as here we have the microwave. So actually boleh masak dekat situ. Dekat memang convenient lah to cook sebenarnya. So and then for the second batch and later we have from the first batch we have purchased the electric cooker ni. So you can use that to cook lah. So my experience, I would say, because we have only one cooker here, I suggest that the cooker to be movable lah. So sebab dalam in our case my room was the macam central kitchen. So nak masak, saya kena prepare lah macam bersih macam ni kan, dengan katil bersih kan. So tapi jadinya kurang masak lah, kurang lah frekuensi masak tu. So if this electric cooker tu movable from one room to the other, I would say it will be more utilized lah. Tapi to answer your question, yes, it's very convenient. Cuma you really need to purchase macam this cutlery, bowl, that you have to purchase. We do have for you guys second batch that you can use, tapi limited numbers lah kan. So on that note, you really need to purchase in this case cutlery, sudu, garpu, and then the bowl. And then we find out that macam mana is it advisable, guys, to buy the bowl here in Malaysia or buy the bowl there?
Everything I would prefer for you. Just go and collect the luggage, everything there.
All right, thank you.
I think the bowl
Welcome.
you can just purchase over there because no need to bring.
I
Yeah.
think kita kena kurangkan sebab very limited luggage punya weight kan. Kalau dia bagi 30 kg, I think semua kita boleh bawa. Tapi because
Yes.
kalau Shenzhen dia just 20, memang sangat sikit kita boleh bawa
Yeah.
dari sini.
You
So I
just
think
bawa something that
kita
your
beli kat
youngest
sana.
needs enough, but like the bowl, cutlery, this all you just buy from that side. Not so expensive.
Okay. Understood.
Okay.
Sambal, I mean, if you want to for food, sambal, this all you bawa sikit lah.
Sambal pun
Alright.
tak boleh nak bawa. Berat. Dah try dah.
No worries. We do have some for you guys. So
Yeah.
you can
The
use
The
Maggi
balance
is
the
excellent.
balance. I hope we can
Uh,
share with others for 6 of us kan. Ada 6. Ada 6 orang kita boleh share nanti tengok macam mana.
Yeah, so if you I think that is all for this session. I think we can conclude the session. I would just like to say thank you everyone. Thank you Adrian, Safwa, Nashraf, Aizat, and definitely Sahilmi for sharing your experiences in teaching in Xi'an International University. For those who attended this session, thank you so much. And then I really want to reiterate the objective of our sharing session today is definitely to give, I would say, a first-hand experience rather than hearing from others on our experience. And it's not about bragging, having, experience teaching there. It really matters for us to prepare the second batch lecturers so that they don't have those kind of issues when they are actually there in the university or in China, because we do have other initiative as well, not only in Xi'an International University but also, if not mistaken, in Jiatong University, but that one I know I'm going to butcher the pronunciation, but we do have other initiative as well for master program. So again, thank you everyone for sharing. If you have any question, you can just ask directly to us rather than, relaying those informations from other people. And then I really hope that this session has been very fruitful because it is quite intimidating to be, assigned to teach for a very long period of time. For example, 2 months, 3 months, 9 months abroad. Okay. So yeah, so if you have any question, you can just directly contact to us. Directly contact us, and we definitely would be more than glad to help all of you. Okay, so I guess that's all. Don't forget to fill in the evaluation as well as your attendance form in order to claim the CPD point. All right. So with that, thank you so much. Until we meet again. All right. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good afternoon.
Right, thank you everyone. Rahman, Adrian, Nashraf, Aizat, and Safwan.
Thank you.
Thank you semua.